It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Beautifully, Bhagwan explained what is power manifestation as cognitive shift. Here, science of power manifestation. Science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. It is called science because it is repeatable and doable for anybody if following all these steps, and evidences to show that it is a science. Shastra Pramana, scriptural evidences. The eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. Apta Pramana. Aptas are the human beings who on the planet Earth experience the superconscious breakthrough, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. The Aptas are the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas. All of them manifested all the powers of Paramashiva, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. Beautifully, Bhagavan has given us all the leelas for us to understand how, as a human, you can have the superconscious breakthrough. And he also maps everything to the aptas and as per the shastras. Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi Pramana, like all of us, who have manifested all the powers of Paramashiva. There are millions of disciples, devotees, followers all around the world manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. Bhagavan beautifully says how whoever comes to the Kailasa courtyard manifester group simply will manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. Bhagavan usually does not come to Gurukul and initiate. He will just bless in the satsang. And I used to ask, how can just blessing in the satsang in turn come manifestation in Gurukul? So he used to say, Ma, if I program the source code, everything will change into that as the reality. Just like that, whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard will manifest all my powers of Paramashiva, removing all the incompletion and going with the abundance and auspiciousness, flooding with all the compassion and higher cognitions. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Again and again, we have proven scientifically that the disciple, devotees, followers, or Bhagavan himself and Valasans have gone through the scientific. Let's go to the Shastra. The Shastra Pramana are the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and the Agamas. This is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. This is from Shiva Samhita 5.7678.
Ranam ghādyate tena sakenapi na ghādyate tasyasyat paramasiddhe animadi gunaprada vayussannacharate dehe rasavriddhir bhaved dhruvam akashapanakajagalptiyu samabhivadhate maranam ghādyate tena sakenapi na ghādyate tasya syat paramasiddhir animadi gunaprada vayuh sanacharate dehe rasavriddhir bhaved dhruvam kajagalapti samabhivadhate.
This is from Shiva Samhita for the scriptural reference for Ashtamaha Siddhi, power of increasing the quantity of the water in the vessel. Bhagavan beautifully explains is eaten by none. He manifests the highest power such as Ahima, Mahima, all the Ashtama Siddhi, the Vayu, the wind energetically throughout the body. The juice of the body also increases Rasa Vridri. The nectar exuding from the eternal lotus, Akasha, Panakaja, also increases in him. Bhagavan has beautifully given us that when we are born, the death clock is start ticking and it's ready to be in action anytime, any day, anywhere. It just starts closing the whole thing. And we are in such a birth and death destruction cycle. Bhagavan beautifully says, he is eaten by none. And how can that happen when you understand the higher science? How can we higher science help us and manifest as our reality? Again and again, Paramashiva comes down to planet Earth to raise each one of us by entangling with us, because we humans entangle to understand how to walk, how to talk, how to eat, and everything we have learned by only being mirroring neurons that learns and starts manifesting as our reality. We learn from the body language, gestures more than anything else. So we keep observing and imbibing all that from the nature. But when we are in the Vata Varna of the avatar himself, what would we imbibe? The higher consciousness, the superconscious state that he is in, he can manifest in all. Himself teaches us the science, how we can do step by step, how he has given the detox program for all of us to experience the higher consciousness, doing the Brahma Muhurta Yoga, taking the Neem juice, taking the Haritaki. Each one gives us the ultimate solution of not just the body flexibility, but something consciously happening in us. And beautifully he explains to us how we are consciousness. It is not that we are a body, we are praying and something else happened to us. No, we are consciousness, so we exist, and so we manifest our body, so we manifest our mind and execute as our own identity in completions and chaos that we create around ourselves, in spite of Bhagavan manifesting through us. Beautifully, Bhagavan says a story where Krishna, one day, Arjuna had come to his house and Arjuna was sleeping, and Krishna tells the Rukmani to go and wake him up, and she went and never came back. Then Narada goes and he also doesn't return. And then Gopikas come. Gopikas also come and they go, they don't return. Krishna is so curious. What is that which is happening? I am sending everyone and nobody is there coming back, and how do I eat my breakfast? And Krishna was curious to see what was going on, and he goes and sees where Arjuna in his deep sleep chanting the Krishna Nama, and he was in such a oneness space that he has gone into the deepmost space that all these Gopikas and all Rukmini, everybody mesmerized into that space and completely are lost on time and everything. And so Krishna goes at the feet of Arjuna and starts pressing his feet literally, and Narayana, and Arjuna wakes up to see what's happening and what's going on. Even in his deep sleep, the thoughts were only about Krishna. And everything was about Krishna. Krishna felt so amazing that he was so glad that everything was in rhythm of Krishna. And that is what happens when we understand the deeper and deeper we are, again and again, that we are Paramashiva. Even our dream, even our the most difficult moment or a beautiful moment, we will remember only Paramashiva. When that happens, that space of oneness takes us to a next conscious space, a superconscious space, where we forget even our body that we are and go into the beautiful oneness space, the bhakti. Bhagavan just doesn't give the bhakti, but he says you should have like Gopikas, Jnana Vairagya Bhakti. What is Jnana and Vairagya? Jnana and Vairagya happens when you are integrated in physically. All the details that you follow, like how Agama specifies, when we follow and practice, like for example, doing the puja, doing the yoga, then the Vairagya comes. Vairagya just does not happen but comes as with the Jnana. Having the right context, right cognition, the Vairagya happens. When we understand the right cognition, the Vairagya is born, and then from there the Bhakti is formed. Then it becomes eternal Bhakti. Nobody can change it and nobody can tamper it. You will be in such a beautiful, blissful space where you will not get out of that and get into all these worldly problems. Each of us understanding that why we need to follow the agama, why we need to follow all the instruction that Bhagavan is giving, is to build the vairagya in us. Why in the puja there has so many conditions that we need to follow is to bring vairagya. All the details that are given during the rituals is to bring the vairagya in us, and understanding, from the understanding to build the jnana, that the metric will happen if we understand the detail of each one of the that is given so beautifully. How everything is cooked is not given, but even the vessel, how it is to be treated because of the carbon that will be collected in the vessel, even to that minute detail, Shiva has penned down everything for us. And if he has penned down, Bhagavan says, God comes in detail. And when we get into such detail of understanding, we build the Vairagya. Everywhere we are so on the easy way to do things. This modern plane, we only want everything in a minute. But unless we get grounded into the Vairagya, we will not understand the depth of anything. We will be very superficial and hypocrite. If we understand the depth of why that is happening and how Bhagavan is beautifully sculpting everything, that will be the most beautiful space for us to experience the real bhakti. Beautifully, Bhagavan gives all this explanation to the adolescents and again gives us such wonderful clarity how we need to experience, not just superficial. We see so much of crowd in all the temples, but there is no grounding in them. They just go to the temple and they want to say, oh, I went to temple, but nothing is happening. But where is the Vairagya? To get into the detail how things has to happen. Are they following everything to the dot? That is the Vairagya. And from the context why things has to be followed and how things has been mentioned, has that detail has been taken into account. That builds the Jnana Vairagya. So beautifully, Bhagavan explains each of these powerful cognition where we understand the much deeper science of power manifestation is from higher context. This is a story of Manikavachakar. He belongs to the 9th century and this is from the Periya Puranam. And here Manikavachakar, how he went and bought all the money that king gave. He went and built the temple that he's supposed to buy horses, because when he saw somebody sitting there and giving the description that all the devotees should build a temple for Shiva, he saw Shiva himself telling him that. He was able to recognize Shiva and immediately he went and built the temple. He did not bother about anything everybody said. The king will hang him, king will give him a royal imprisonment, but he did not listen. And then king came to know this and he sent his men to go and get him to imprison him. But Shiva says, okay, I will get the horses. And he comes in such a beautiful space with such a handsome way, and he comes on the horses to the king and say, here are your horses. Why did you put him in the jail? And king releases him, but the horses, he doesn't stop there. The horses became false and killed him and ran away. Why he would do all these leela? To showcase Manikavachkar's space. Simply Paramashiva is interested only in the space bringing the best of the devotees. He is more interested in the devotees than we are interested in him. So he brings the best in Manikya by bringing him again to the king. The king asks, "What did you do?" Again, he imprisoned him. Then it floods there, and he comes to Vaigai and showcase to how he got hurt from the king, because king hit him because he was not carrying and fixing the flood. Shiva himself came down and he did not do anything, and king experienced, and all of them experienced that hurt when the king hit Shiva, who was in disguise as a normal person, to showcase how the oneness exists, how Manikavajakar is an ultimate soul, and king surrendered and said, "I will release him," and simply the flood became normal. If we understand how the land works, how the consciousness works, how the five element works, when Bhagavan himself comes down as in human form, how we need to hold that space. We are the most lucky people to experience the avatar in this millennium. We have heard about Rama and Krishna, but never experienced. But here Bhagavan himself initiating all of us. That is the most biggest blessing for all of us to experience the oneness. Let's listen to Bhagavan himself narrate on the Ashtama Siddhi.
The outside, you need to see the boundarylessness inside. The nameless, formless, boundaryless experience had to be experienced inside. Only then it can penetrate your eye and appear outside. Understand the science of the meditation? Understand the science of the whole process? So first, see it inside. Close your eyes. Just be boundaryless inside. See, all your thought starts with a basic idea of your boundary. Unless you have an idea about you, you can't have thoughts. You understand? For example, if a thought comes, for example, let me go and eat. It means what? You have an idea of me, boundary. So, unless there is a base, you can't have a thought. So any thought happening means you are feeling you have some boundary. Relax from that. Understand? No. Just relax. Constantly relax. Suddenly you will see inside itself you will have the idea of boundarylessness. Then open your eyes. Whatever you are seeing, maybe different color, different shade, different light, different thing. Do not name them. Do not name. For example, this shade, this size is computer. This size, this shade, table. This size, this shape, tablecloth. This size, this shape, throne. This size, this shape, Swamiji. Don't name. Just do not name. Gaze just with that boundarylessness inside. All of you are able to catch what I am saying? A little subtle thing. When I do the process, you'll understand. I'll make it happen. When I do the process, I'll make it happen. You can say these are all the breaking the ice. Breaking the ice. First, inside be boundaryless. Then, when you open the eyes, do not label anything. Whatever you are seeing in front, you don't have to concentrate on me. Please understand, you don't have to center yourself on me. You can look at anything. Just look around. Just do not name. Look at everything. Do not name, that's all.
How Bhagavan says how he experienced the boundaryless, and simply if you understand that science, how he says how we can experience the boundaryless if you understand frequency, higher reality, how you exist. If you are an atom and you understand the atom can project itself into your body, project itself into others' body, and manifest as your reality, and go back to the original space when you reside back in that space, how it will be. That is how Bhagavan is describing your boundary. You think that is your body, which is not true. We are much beyond and much connected to everything as a whole. If we understand the higher reality, we will be so complete. How we are complete, even the worst thing happen in our dream when we wake up in the morning. Even if the worst person does the worst thing, we do not react at all. Same way, we can also be in the same space if we understand that nothing that happens in the outer world, which is only a birth and death cycle, which is a projected illusion that you are experiencing a dream. If you understand the original how you are is quantum, which does not, nothing is lost and nothing is gained. It exists as it is in a different form than what we perceive as frequency, than what we perceive as a gross reality. Gross reality can be projected as we want when we understand from that dimension. Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi Pramanas are the millions of disciple, devotees, followers all around the world initiated by Bhagavan, manifesting the power. Now, the decreasing of the weight, height of your finger, he has shown how the two fingers have changed the length from what it was to what it is. Beautifully, they have shown. And also, you can see how these are Ashtama Siddhis, how this person is manifesting the power of lifting a weight 3 times more than him.
As you can see, Srinivasan Maharaj has lifted.
I don't mean to be a stickler for form and all this, but when it comes to training, form is everything. You're going to get much more power if you have like exact form. And I can say his form was not correct, but it didn't matter. That's what's shocking, is that you were able to somehow muster the strength without having the correct base.
And Srinivasan Maharaj is just 54 kgs and he has lifted over 115 kgs just like that without any effort.
These are the Ashtama Siddhis that Bhagavan is talking about, where the increasing, decreasing, all that which can be manifested as our reality. Again and again, Bhagavan gives us beautiful understanding how we can decrease ourselves, how Hanuman increased himself and flew across and became such a small thing, then went into the demons and came out of her and said, yes, I've done the whole thing. Now leave me and I have to go and see Sita. He became so small like an atom. He grew like so big that he was able to cross the ocean just by the mantra, the Ramanama. Such a beautiful space, the Ramanama leads to the highest reality, more than Rama. Bhagavan says. The Namas have such powers, how it can manifest the ultimate reality. Here, Bhagavan gives the beautiful guidelines for us to understand the more reality, how we can manifest. If you have a cell phone, please record the whole thing. These powers especially are very physical powers that you can really see it in your camera. And if you have the Jnananjan in your Kantamala, you can apply in your third eye and your temples. And if you don't have, that's fine. You can apply the Basma. And also if you have the turmeric, apply every night so that you can experience that beautiful detox and experience through the third eye all the powers. Bring the awareness to your third eye and place the increase the size of your finger and you can measure it and clearly see how it is growing higher. Or if you do not want to do anything with this, you can even have a cup of water and increase the cup of water. But if you can do this, that will be beautiful. You can make a marking of your fingers, how it is both exactly same. And then start working with your fingers and trace your fingers and see how it can grow. And simply all this, make sure it is completely done authentically. The measurement is taken 2 to 3 times so that you don't miss anything and there is no doubt which is created. The power manifestation, only thing we have to take care is no external inputs or any of the tampering of the data, because again we think logically we have to do something. Logically nothing we have to do. That is life. Bhagavan says for life you don't need to think, you don't need to eat. Then how do we exist? how the superconscious being existed, all the 9 siddhas, how they were able to make prana as their food, and how they were able to live beyond sleep, beyond food. Arjuna was a Kutakesha, Lakshmana was a Kutakesha. Kutakesha means somebody who does not sleep. So these were sciences which were happening again and again. And how is that we can experience that? How is that I can learn that and make it a science? That is what Bhagavan is guiding by Ashtama Siddhi. So much of incompletion, Bhagavan says, whether it is a loan or whether it is a fire or incompletion, do not even store a little residue. It will grow so big that you will be lost. Again, you lose your body, and again, you have to come back to the body, physical body, to experience enlightenment. Again, we have to beg and come back. We have done so many times. Let's use this more smart and listen to Bhagavan how we can manifest all these siddhis, not by Shakti, not by any of our effort, but simply just merging the identity into Bhagavan, and Bhagavan will manifest through us as our reality, as Shaktis. Now, let's go to the instruction. Let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. And bring your awareness to your third eye again and again. Live manifesting through your third eye. Do not live with your lower 3 chakras, which is always causing the parasites to make decision in your life. Now, scientifically, they say the gut bacteria runs your life 90%. That's what we don't want. Detox your body so that does not run, but let Bhagavan run my life, manifesting the space of oneness and melting myself into Bhagavan, disappearing into Bhagavan, and just holding that oneness space and manifesting all the powers. And really what is need to be done through us, let it happen as a manifestation, bringing auspicious, bringing health, wealth, job, security, whatever we are searching for, fulfilling all that and much more. So let's absolute unclutch from the identity that we carry. These identities are nothing but our delusion. It's not so and so experience Paramashiva. Paramashiva is experiencing as so and so. So all the labels that we have got, put it in a like next guest room or something and come here as only Paramashiva, as Parashakti. Only experience that in your inner space. That is Tyaga, Bhagavan says. Holding the higher reality of yourself, higher cognition that you are a superconscious being. Bhagavan does not say he is God, he says I am also God, because he refers to all of us as Paramashiva. And intensely chant the Mahavakya. The mantra is the ultimate gift that Bhagavan has given the humanity to raise our frequency, to catch the oneness space and manifest as powers. Let's entangle with Bhagavan beautiful oneness space and chant the Mahavakya intensely, continuously, merge into the hymn, the Para Shakti Devi space, continuously happening in our eyes. It's not moving out. Her eyes, her gesture, her love, her caring, and meticulously attending to each one every single day and coming and blessing. These are the best blessing that we can experience. Again and again, these great moments that we can never imagine unless we raise ourselves to understand what is given. Till we are a kid, we never appreciate our school or college. But after that, we say, oh, this was very good, that was very good. Like that, we are now not understanding what Bhagavan is showering on the humanity. But as we grow deeper and deeper into Bhagavan's space, we'll understand what he is given is unimaginable sacrifice, unimaginable, uncompromisable compassion that he's pouring in each of us. So let's be in the receiving space, nothing for us to do. Be available, that's all he says. Be available for him to manifest through all of us. So that's all we need to do. Let's sit and be in the oneness space with Paramashiva. How Arjuna was immersed in Krishna, same way let's merge into Paramashiva in the oneness space. Chant the Mahavakya with such a joy and such a oneness space and experience the oneness as our reality. and make a note, record it, and simply you can share it at the end of the session. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pool, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
So beautiful. Whatever you have experienced, please verify it authentically. Again, measure your fingers and you can see how it has grown. If there's no change, perfectly fine. You just measure it at least 2 to 3 times. Make sure it is grown at least 5 to 10 units more than what you have seen. If you have measured your height or measured any other object, please measure that also authentically 2 to 3 times. To be very authentic with what we are manifesting is nothing to do with our logic or external help, but only from the space of Paramashiva, who's manifesting as my reality, and learning the science of higher science of consciousness, which can manifest as our reality. And deep completion and deep oneness and surrendering our identity creates that space. again and again, going into that space of oneness and understanding if I can, from when we are born, we don't know to walk, and we don't walk for at least a year. And then we start sitting and crawling and everything, and then we start walking. That doesn't mean that we don't know to walk. We surely can walk, but there is a process for us to go through. But animals just walk right after their birth, and we can't compare and say, why is animals walking and why not me? But that's how the evolution happens. Same way, we also can understand there are great saints who have walked immediately after their birth. The possibility exists for each one of us. We have to explore it. It's our decision when we decide to get up and walk, and how we are mirroring, and how the whole Vatavarana is for us to manifest the powers. We will simply do it, knowingly or unknowingly. Whatever Vatavarana, we just manifest that as our reality. Here, Bhagavan is creating the ultimate Vatavarana, the consciousness where you can merge yourself into that space of oneness. And Bhagavan beautifully says, whenever you have Ishtadevata and start feeling that love and devotion, you just merge into that Ishtadevata and completely in oneness, forgetting your body and the mind. That is the space where manifestation is the highest possibility that happens. That is what we do when we sleep. We don't think about our work or plan. We go into the deep sleep. So we are able to unclutch and go into that space. All we need to do is consciously get into the higher reality where the whole space of consciousness merging into that, and with a deep love and gratitude is the shortest way to get into that. That is the feeling of Shaktipada, the oneness space. Again and again, we have to teach that science because we have not been in such a space in our life because of the outer world. So much of distraction. Our attention span is very, very less. So again and again, we have to unclutch and bring ourselves to the devotion, the bhakti, and continuously chant to increase our frequency to experience that oneness space. So we'll have one more cycle. You can measure your fingers again, or your height, whichever is comfortable. So increasing the height of yourself or your fingers and seeing how it can manifest as powers, as Paramashiva, Parashakti, the gift that she is giving for us to understand, hey, it is happening for me too. That oneness space that we can experience as a joy. How we go to temples and we experience that very same thing Bhagavan is bringing to your home to manifest as reality. Let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight and merge into Paramashiva, chanting the Mahavakya, bringing that beautiful visual of Devi Parashakti. Again and again, her gesture, her kasamala, her body language, her dance, her authority, her command, her uncompromised compassion, every gesture that you experience with her, just bring that again and again to your third eye. And let's start chanting the Mahavakya intensely to manifest the power of Ashtama Siddhi, Mahima power, increasing the finger size.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashi
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Third eye. Let the Amrita pour. Let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour. Let the Vani open up. Manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let's go to the process of verification and sharing, enriching and causing. Such a beautiful space that Bhagavan has created for all of us, showering all the boons and blessings and auspiciousness being in the Kailash courtyard, simply manifesting through each one of us. Understanding this higher reality brings the deep gratitude into what Bhagavan is doing for each one of us. Please share your powerful cognitions and power manifestation pictures and videos in tinyurl.com/power manifestation. The Kailash Courtyard manifesting pages have lots of manifestation details. You can watch all these videos and entangle yourself into the higher reality. Each of you manifesting all these powers and sharing brings you an expansion space. When you do the causing and enriching for others' reality, simply brings your life to more auspiciousness. And there is a $ sign at the end of this beautiful space that we can offer and contribute. Each time you contribute a unit of your currency, you vote for that. And this is the only place where you can vote for your Kailasa space inside you. And how does it help me? It again and again votes that I am super consciousness. And when we are again and again voting for that, we simply fall into the higher reality. Each time we contribute to a temple or a higher cause, we expand in that higher cause. That is what Bhagavan says, and simply manifest as reality. Again and again, surrender all these powers and powerful cognition to Bhagavan's lotus feet so that all this becomes our reality. All the space that Paramashiva that we keep on repeating becomes our existential reality to understand the higher superconscious space. And thanking Bhagavan deeply and earning for such a wonderful space to become our reality. And thanking each and every one of you in this session, manifesting all these powers with a deep gratitude and thanking each one of you. Let's end this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, and thank you for such a beautiful space of all of us manifesting the higher science. Now, please don't forget to share, and after each of these beautiful sessions, morning and evening, we'll be having the Kailash Courtyard, and Bhagavan himself is in the presence of us to experience that oneness, for us to experience the oneness and manifest as powers. So don't miss the moments, and you make sure every day we can experience such a beautiful space.